All right. Peace and blessings to everybody. Uh, as we get started, thank you for joining us. We had a little technical difficulties. While we're running a little bit late, um, I'm hoping to get my brother Yango on here. I don't see him on the in the panel, uh, but I'm not going to be long today. But I give homage to our African ancestors who came before us. I give homage to Men's and Akhenaten. I give homage to Nat Turner and Denmark Vesey and Gabriel Prosser. I give homage to Nanaya Santawa and Mansa Kanku Musa. I give homage to a man, if I could live forever, I could never thank the Most High enough. That man is the Honorable Marcus Messias Garvey. I give thanks for these great warriors and teachers and scholars. Uh, I greet you, my dear brothers and sisters, in the greeting words of peace. We say in Mandinka, Kolatanate. And I thank you so much for joining us. Oh, I do got you on the stage now. You ain't got to see. Okay. All right. So, well, I'm gonna let my brother Yanga say a few words, and then we'll get started, brother Yanga. You got the floor. I did finally see. I see. I got it straight now. So that's good. Yanga, go ahead. You got the floor for it. I'll let you open up and say a few words. And you there,
Thank you,
Yanga?
man. Yeah, can you hear me?
Uh
Can
huh.
everyone hear me out there? Can you guys hear me clearly? Thank you, man, Coronate. Man, listen, another beautiful day. We thank the universe. We ask the ancestors, and not to rehash what our mantra has already given us, but we ask the ancestors for their continuous guidance, enlightenment, and the wisdom to make right choices that edify and build us in our life. Very great conversation today. And one of the reasons that it's a great conversation, I don't want us to get carried away into religiosity or sentiment or being oversensitive, but really paying attention to the harm inflicted upon us as a people by foreigners visiting our community. We subconsciously or psychologically elevate a people to be a chosen people. And this is no, I grew up a Muslim, so this is not a religious attack, but it is what it is. And we have to call a spade a spade. So when we grow up with a certain indoctrination and a certain reverence for ways of life, religion, then we tend to subconsciously make those people the chosen ones, elevated, enlightened beings, because their culture was the host of that religion. And what that does is leave us open. When we look in our communities, some of the most depraved behavior, some of the worst things being sold in our community are coming from these people. And when you point the finger, we have misguided Negroes, and it's just misguidance. I love all of us. It's only misguidance, right? We have these misguided Negroes who mistake righteousness and mistake a love for the universe um, for a camaraderie or a companionship or a brotherhood with people who don't see you as a brother, even if you profess the same love for the universe that they have, Allah, let's call it. So we have to be warned against them. And my mentor here is doing a very tremendous thing. He is walking a fine line. He runs the risk of having misinformed, misguided, or downright ignorant Negroes being upset with him because he's calling to a pride, a love of self connected to your African ancestries, revising that, remembering that, and reliving that through morals, ethics, firm decisions, and participation in our own determination in our life. It's hard to participate in our life and have a good, wholesome participation when every participation, every decision that you make is guided, influenced by powers that don't like you. It's almost as if these powers have sworn some type of oath to your utter destruction. And you and I, nearly willy, will drink the Kool-Aid. Huh? We drank the Kool-Aid. And now amongst us, a man comes and slaps the Kool-Aid cup out of your hand and say that it's poison. It's poisoning you against yourself. It's poisoning you against your identity. And how that is happening is it is poisoning you against your ancestry. You have elevated, you have revered, you have honored other people to such a degree that you don't see the wrong being inflicted in our community, and you have lost the resolve, the will, the clarity, the foresight to be what your ancestors intended you to be, and that is the elevation, advancement of your people. Race first, you mighty people. Race first. With that, I'm going to bring on our beloved Mansa, Chief, or Mansa Sanjata. Mansa, floor is yours, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Yanga. I appreciate that. So today's subject is Africa and Africans. Separate yourself from Arabs. Why is that important? See, we African people are humble, and we have understood that it's not about titles, it's about testimony. We have embraced everybody, and us being the mothers and fathers of all civilization, we are welcoming people. We didn't see the Arab when he came to Africa as any different from us. We embraced him and welcomed him and could understand the level he was on because we have a closeness to God. We are the people of the Most High. And so we could understand that because it comes from us. But then because we're humble, they seek to enslave and destroy us. See, a cracker, is a goddamn cracker. It's in the nature of white people to try to bully you. They have bullied you with their culture, bullied you with their religion, bullied you with their languages. They just come in bullying Africa. And we allowed them to catch us slipping, and they came in and conquered us with their culture and their values. And the first to do this was the Arab. So you're not going to tell me that a people who go back to we can't count the beginning of time. They have records going back 300,000 years. There was a guy named Albert Perry who was here in America. Family brought here through the transatlantic slave trade, but his Y chromosome went back over 338,000 years. You understand? 338,000 years. It blew up the DNA places. It couldn't even fathom that. So that's how far they can go back over 300 and some thousand years. Uh, we go back as African people, and they still are finding things that they find things that could possibly predate that. So we are the first people. So you're not going to tell me we, as the first people, need anybody to tell us about God, anybody to lead us. We don't need anybody leading us. So we came in and could accept the understanding the oneness of God, could embrace it, them. The postures of praying, we invented that because they deal with the chakras, they deal with breath is so important. So their breathing exercise it would go along with the prayers that you do when you're posturing. We understood this. So we humble, we'll pray with you. And now you want to conquer us. So they came into Africa and they begin to enslave and disrespect us. And now tell us the only way to do things is their way. So many of our leaders accepted their way and began to oppress other Africans who didn't want to do it that way. And now you have them who have had a slave trade for over 1,500 years, taking us and capturing us, or getting our misguided brothers who said these people are not following their way, they would sell them to the Arabs, take them across the Sahara Desert. Many of them who had babies, if the baby couldn't keep up with the caravan, they just left them there to perish. Left them there to perish. And they would castrate the men and make them eunuchs. This went on, it's been going on since the past 1,500 years. And so let me make this perfectly clear, my brothers and sisters. This is no attack against Islam, because the best Muslims are the African Muslims, in my opinion. And even the Prophet Muhammad understood that. This is why he said he heard the footsteps of Bilal going into paradise before himself, recognizing that the black man has a righteous and good nature. You understand what I'm saying? So this is no attack on the African Muslims. We embrace you. We love you. You are our brothers, our sisters. We not against you. I took Shahada when I was 17 years old and loved the wonderful things that my black teachers and imams and sheikhs taught me, and I respect and honor that. But God damn it, I'm not an Arab. And you're not going to tell me that my brother who practices a traditional African religion, or my brother who's a Christian, my brother's a Hebrew, I'm divided against that brother. Because everywhere you go, the black man is on the bottom and the goddamn white man is on the top. If you're a Hebrew, the white Hebrew on top and your black ass is on the bottom. If you're black Christian, then the white Christian's on top and your black behind is on the bottom. If you're a black Muslim, the black Muslim's on the bottom and the goddamn white Arab is on top. So that don't matter to you, white man. That doesn't matter to the white Arab about how well you know the religion. And this is what has misguided us to think that these people care about your connection to the Most High. They don't. They are against you. So now we have to unite on the basis of race first. We have to unite and learn to embrace each other and love each other and work together to defeat white supremacy, Arab supremacy, Asian supremacy, Indian supremacy, Mexican supremacy. Nobody loves us when we don't have no goddamn friends. So now, many of you who are the fathers and mothers of civilization, get rid of your culture and worship Arabs. God don't care about languages. God don't care about uh, put their culture over our culture. He cares about how righteous you are and the good deeds you do. And since they have abused us and not shown us inhumanity, it's time to get rid of the Arab. So as I was saying, for 1,500 years, they've done this to us. Over that. Didn't respect us. How could you castrate a man? They wrote in their books it's written in the hadiths, and many of the scholars have said we're like dumb animals. Oh yeah, they said it. And although Bilal was loyal to the Prophet, And the prophet adored Bilal because he was a good man. And yes, I'm not diminishing, but that's all they want the brother to do is get up and sing. Because this music is something that only someone close to God can master in a sense like we mastered. To show that God's with us. You hear how beautiful we sound, how beautiful our voices are? That's the original people. So he had that beautiful voice. But that's all. They can look at the beauty of the black man, but can't respect the black man. They can look at the beauty of Michael Jordan, but he's just a nigga. Look at the beauty of Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali said, as a Muslim, he said, I got gold medals. I got a belt. I'm rich, but I'm just a nigga. They can't see past that man, showing you the manifestation of God. A man who could float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. He showed you that God was with him. Bilal showed you that God was with him, but to the Arabs, he was just a nigga. And this is why Muhammad had to tell them, respect wisdom wherever it comes from, even if a man's hair is like dry raisin and his skin is like sun. Respect it, but they couldn't do it. So they wouldn't make Bilal Khalifa. They made Abu Bakr Khalifa. They made Omar Khalifa, but they didn't make Bilal Khalifa. So Bilal left. Bilal had to get out there. So that's all they could look at the brother is to do as to sing. But they didn't respect the brother as they should. You very rarely see Arabs even name themselves Bilal. So I'm saying I'm saying to say enough is enough. It's time that we, the people who are the originators, come together and unite on the basis of race first. Because although they see Africans suffer, do they help us? No. We send our sisters to go over there because they helped desecrate East Africa, desecrated Kenya, desecrated Ethiopia. And we are the Ethiopians, the Abyssinians people, are the ones, when the Arabs were after them, they came to Abyssinia, Ethiopia, for refuge to defend them against their own savage Arab brothers. And they turned on the Ethiopians and began to enslave them, right? Turned on Ethiopians and began to enslave them. So we have to understand we can't continue to embrace the people who don't respect us. We can't continue to, um, want to work with someone who want to work with us. So as I was saying just a second ago, so our sisters go to work over there, and they have the kafala system. And when they get there, confiscate their passports, sexually assault our women. And if they show any sign of resistance, they're killed. There was a woman, as you heard me say in previous videos, and I have to say it again for those who didn't hear it. They made her breastfeed puppies. Have even had dog litters and tried to get the sisters to sleep with dogs. What kind of human being would do another human being like that? So it's time for Africa to stand up and unite and take care of our women, take care of our children, stop the corruption, and bring Africa to what it should be. And this is why our brother Ibrahim Traore, I take my hat off to him. Although he is a Muslim, but he loves all the people of Burkina Faso. So much so when they wanted to build 200 mosques, he said, no, we don't need any more mosques. We need hospitals. We need schools. We need engineers. We need doctors. And I don't see what Arabs want to help them at. You see, this is what he was saying. And he didn't want something just for the Muslims. He wanted something for all the people of Burkina Faso, because that country is 60 some percent Muslim and 40 some percent are traditional African religion and Christians. That's the man who's thinking race first. You see, we've embraced them here. I go into some stores, man, and I can speak to a brother. He just nod his head at me. He get to the counter with the Arab. Hey, Aki. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullah. Barakatuh. You okay, Ak? How you doing, Ak? How your mama doing, Ak? All right, Ak. Good to see you, Ak. All right. Peace and love, Ak. Assalamu alaikum. And walk outside. Nigga, what you looking at, nigga? I mean, ain't this a sickness? Sister, I tried it. Hello, Black Queen. How you doing, sister? They don't even speak to you. Getting around the Arab. Hey, how you doing? Give me a Black and Mild and a Swisher, and I'll take these Cheetos and Fritos. Thank you. How you doing? That's the mind of a sick person. So when are we gonna learn to unite? And what makes it sad is that we've had civil rights movements. We have stood up against white supremacy, but I've never seen a protest against what the Arabs have done. I've never seen us talk about it. I've never seen us call for reparations. They're not with the brotherhood of mankind. They're with Arab domination and Arab supremacy. And we have stood by and allowed them to enslave us, mistreat us, and we have been punks. They've castrated you physically, and goddamn, they castrated you mentally, spiritually, and socially. Because you don't raise up your voice and be a man and say, enough is enough, goddamn it. How do you allow Africans, a place you pray to 5 times a day, to continue to destroy, rape, and murder African women? How do you allow that? How do you go over to Mecca and make Umrah and make Hajj and buy bottled water from the goddamn sand rat? Stay in the sand rat's hotel, eat the Sand Rats restaurant, bringing billions in revenue to these people. They don't even respect you. Don't tell me, goddammit, that ain't nothing holy in Africa. Africa is the holiest of lands. If the prophet, and I say it out of respect, and peace and blessings be upon him, turned it from Jerusalem, and one time, off some of the Nigerians who didn't want to leave because they loved the land and wanted to be there. And they needed food, and the Arabs would come out just throw bread on the ground like they were dogs. Oh, and I say the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, how do you tell us That's the Holy Land. You never taught your followers about the trans-Saharan slave trade. We need to be aware of that to protect ourselves. So I'm saying that since they can't get their act together, you should boycott Mecca. Don't spend another damn dime going over there until they do right by African people. That's only fair. This is going on for too long. Even our brother Mansa Kanku Musa, who I love, I think was a good thing in some regards because he showed how majestic we are. But how do you go to Mecca and see your people in auctions, on auction blocks, sold and enslaved, and you leave without freeing them? So this is what we have to understand. We have to stand up like men and unite on the basis of race first. Separate yourself from this era. Separate. You don't need him. God, the Most High, loves you. You are his chosen people. You are his first people. These people are your children. And since they love scripture so much, what does scripture say? Honor thy mother and thy father that their days may be long upon this land. You are the OG. And it's about time they honor and respect you. And you standing up, make them respect you. No longer tolerate that. When you see them in our stores, in our neighborhoods, and they can't hire you, stop going there. You got all the smoke for your other brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? When you gonna have to smoke for the Arab? You shoot each other. You want to lie to each other every day, and yet still these motherfuckers go home every single day and sleep well off your black dollars that you give them. You make Umar and Hajj, they living in palaces and mansions, Nigerians, and you can't keep your damn lights on. You can't feed your people. Stop that foolishness. And again, this is no attack on Islam, but how could you go to a place that's unsafe and they mistreating you? So until they get it corrected, how you think God will fault you? Say, I don't want to go there no longer because how they treating our people? Force them to fix it and get it right. Arabs should pay reparations for what they did to our forefathers. There's no way they can continue to do what they're doing and we just stand by like castrated eunuchs and allow them to keep doing it. It's time for you to be a man, be a woman, and stand up. Separate from the Arab. Separate from the goddamn white man. They've not been friends to our people. Never. And I say this to the Nation of Islam. You cry crocodile tears for the Palestinians every day. It's wrong what they're doing in Palestine. It's wrong what they're doing. That's the Palestinians' land. Oh, not really. Because all that land belonged to black people. And you really want to get down to the bottom of it. It don't belong to neither one of them bastards. But you don't put anything about the Sahara slave trade, the kafala system. You don't talk about that in your paper. So you went from being an Uncle Tom to a goddamn Uncle Abdullah. So it's time that we stand up, man. Separation is the only solution for our people. Buy black, think black, 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 black. That's what we should be on. You see, that's how we have to be. So, in fact, I would say even buying their Qurans. Time for some. We got plenty of Islamic scholars all in Mali. Plenty of them right here in America then you come up with your version of the Quran and print it yourself so you don't even spend a damn dime with these sand rats who don't respect you. Why not? They got translation. Where's your translation at? Nation Islam, make a translation of the Quran and sell it in your bookstores. Don't you have your final calls and your bean pies and your version of your Quran that you sell? It puts money back in your community. Don't give these bastards another damn dime till they respect you. If they don't want us, then goddamn we don't want them. This is the message. Separate. Let's build Africa up. Let's build up the black community up. You see, Tariq Nasheed got no smoke for the Arab, but he got all the smoke for his African brother and African sister. This is a travesty. So I think you will be back next week. X has had a lot of issues. Every time we try to get on, it knocks us off. Because I've been going real hard at the FBA. I hate to see a people that will degrade Africa the way they're doing. It's sad. And I have to say this to my African brothers and sisters. A lot of the views they have, they're playing off of our ignorance globally. And I'm saying, yes, there's some Africans that come to this country who are ignorant. A lot of people have come here. They are the minister's children or the ones who are fortunate to come here, and they're not coming to unite with their people. They're coming to get a dollar and then see your brother and sister in this condition and say, oh man, they lazy. Oh man, they doing this, they doing that. Not understanding what white supremacy has done to your brother and sister here. When we go to Africa and see you don't have wells or for with water, we go try to build a well. We try to build a school, and we ask you to reciprocate that with family. And so this makes us upset because a lot of you don't know you're African. No African from the continent is more African than an African born right here in America. In fact, when Tariq Nasheed says we're genetic Africans, no, we're the super Africans because what you merge different ethnic groups and cultures together for us to understand our unity is most important. That's what happened with the transatlantic slave trade. Mandinka and Yoruba got together. You see, Mandinka and Ashanti or Yoruba and Ashanti, right? Fulahs and people from the Congo, the Lingala people, and Cameroonian people. So we come together to form one super African. And now what Africa's trying to do is unite the 54 countries, but goddamn, we united in our DNA as the Africans here in America. So now it's time for y'all to learn from that, my dear brothers and sisters who come and unite with your people. So you don't have to go begging and scratching your ass or scratching your head to be accepted by nobody in the continent of Africa. You are a super African. This don't mean you better, but it means with the ancestors, I'm sorry, what the ancestors hoped and yearned for, it's in your DNA. Do you understand that? Now, Yanga, I want to, since you're back, as I close, the point I was making that, you try to tell me, because my love for Africa, I was kind of blinded by some of the things that's happening. And a lot of us, he was telling me one time he went to a store, right? And the African man said, "You're not African." He was pissed about that. But I'm saying to us, we don't need no exception from no continental Africans. We don't have to say, you accept us. We are that. Because as I was just saying earlier, Yanga, because I think you missed it because you dropped. What what are we trying to do now in Africa? Unite the 54 countries with one United States African passport to say that no borders in Africa. Well, I said we the Africans here in America are the embodiment of that because guess what? When we were brought on the came on the plantations and mixed with each other, Mandinka mixed with Ashanti, Ashanti mixed with the Lingala people of the Congo, you understand, and the people of Cameroon. We all were mixed as one. Our bloodline is mixed, so we are the embodiment. That we are the embodiment of the United States of Africa. We're showing you we're all one, and we look at each other as one. He black, I'm black. That's how we look at. And now that's what Africa's trying to go. So don't tell me we got to go scratching our ass and scratching our head to be accepted, or need you to tell us we Africans are we don't need no validation from no goddamn body. We just as much African as you. And in fact, I say we're super African. That don't mean we better. Just means we are going to help to bring Africa together. Can you get that concept? What I'm saying, Yanga?
Totally, totally.
Hmm. Yeah, expound what you think about what I'm saying about that. Maybe you got some more.
Okay, I can do it on. I hope my internet holds up. It's faulty, but I think it was self-explanatory, like you said, man. That we are that embodiment. Despite I
Right.
did, I talked Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was a strong proponent of the United States of Africa, said that. He said that what is in us, what is intrinsically in us, is greater than the superimposed influences that they would use to divide us. So, despite the titles, the labels, I love what you just said. We don't need acceptance from anyone. What's in us, we are what we are. We have to embrace that and bring that out and allow our actions to be the example of our ancestry, to show what mighty people we came from. So you're right. We are the embodiment of the United States of Africa.
Exactly. We a living manifestation of that. You see, that's we are that. So so what happens, dear brothers, as we could close and conclude with this. So some of those things that annoy us, because we some of us who have romanticized Africa, you don't understand that Africa had colonialism, and the equation that Elijah Muhammad gave was 100% right. 85%, 5%, 10%. 85% of the people globally are blind, deaf, dumb to the knowledge of self. You see, if this wasn't true, then there's no way Africa wouldn't be united by now. And 10% are the manipulators of the 85%, and manipulate the 85% for personal gain. Is what you see a lot of these African leaders, enrich themselves. When people get tired of them, enrich themselves and rise up against them, then they run to Europe and take the wealth of that African country, and the wealth is left in a European bank. They're the 10%ers. The 5% are the poor righteous teachers, right? Like Ibrahim Traore, when he says, I'm disclosing my financials. So we're not going to take advantage of people. We're not getting new cars. No, we're not buying a jet airplane. We're going to invest in young people. So he took thousands of young people and put them in engineering school. That is a righteous man. That's a righteous man, you see? And that's what happened. So now, so you have to understand. So just because you see someone from Africa doesn't mean he one of the 5%ers. No, he's not, most likely. Very few of us understand. And so now it's time for the 5% to make that equation multiply, I should say. So we start bringing the numbers up, and we start educating the 85%. We in a battle with the unrighteous, the 10%. We're in a battle with them to capture the minds and hearts of the 85%. It's a good, and I'm not, that's a good equation that you have to understand. That's what you're dealing with. So just you saying African, oh, I met a brother from Nigeria, and you think he's supposed to be some type of angel or something. Hell no. No. That's just like you see a brother off 47th Street. Don't mean that brother. You don't think like that here. You don't see a young brother with his pants hanging down and say he represents all black people in America, because he don't. You see? And we have to work together to show we can work together and unite. But that them seeing some of our African brothers in their fallen state, it discouraged them. And now you can have them manipulate like a Tariq Nasheed, one of the 10%ers, come in and teach you to hate your African brother and sister. And they got them on the African side too. I was on a panel with this lady. I'm gonna say the TikTok whore's name. That's what I call her name, Miss T. She's from Tanzania. And I got on there and expressed my love because I'm not no American. I'm an African. And she says that she gonna make black people in America pay because they made fun of them. And I said, well, Miss T, I understand you're hurt. Let's unite. Here you are from Africa. I'm from, let's unite and work together. She kicked me off the panel. And I said, why you kicked me out? Because I wanted to. She don't want you, and she wants to, build up a TikTok name for herself and be like Tariq Nasheed and roast, black people in America. And I warn you, dear brothers and sisters in Africa who are here, you don't want to do that. Because now listen to this, Yang, and very carefully. If you begin to make, because they made a statement saying, I'm not going to repeat it, they made some very derogatory statements about black people in America. You outnumbered here. And if Tariq Nasheed can use that to make us dislike and have a hatred for our brothers, what do you think is going to happen? You look at the violence in Chicago and see, oh man, some people shot. You don't think that can turn on you? So what you need to be doing is uniting and loving your brothers and sisters and working together. Don't think you're gonna win some type of cracking joke session because them cracking jokes get real on the street, and you start to have that attitude. Man, don't think it can get real for you real quick. That's like me going over to Africa and I'm gonna talk bad about the people. You think they gonna do something to me? Of course they are. That's dangerous. You don't do that. Now you want to address the FBA or ADOS, address them, but you don't do that. You don't do that.
Chief. So I guess I won't delay it. We were seeing if Chief could get back. He may be having some technical difficulties. Um, so I'm going to close out. I'm going to close it out. I think it was prolific. I think what Chief said, sit back for a moment, take it in. It was a lot. A lot of it was graphic. And that was intentional. That's to stir the sentiment, to stir your emotions to real action. Our dear brother El Haj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X, right, said that a man doesn't change, I quote, a man doesn't change anything until he's angry. So a lot of what Mansa does is stir this emotion to stoke the fuels of the fire, that it may burn inside of you, and a righteous indignation will take place, and you'll be compelled to make a change in your life, not just with inside yourself, but the very community that you live and participate in, benefit from, receive from, and give to. This is what all of this is about. And not just any anger. We want this anger to be angry for the intentional uh, removal of you from any type of culture, identity, Norways, mores, anything that would remind you of who you are, your magnificent self, your Black African self, and anything that would hinder you from recreating that excellence, recreating that majesty that resides within you. This is when you awaken to that, to your African self, to this consciousness. And not just awaken to it. It's one thing to be, you can wake up and never get out of bed. That's a semi-consciousness. You're conscious. You just don't have any action to accompany it. This is what this fire that Mance is giving us. Not just the consciousness of who you are and your ancestry and the greatness that you come from, but the fire, the motivation, the inspiration to get up and do something about those that would try to hinder that greatness that resides in you. Up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will. I don't have the power to end it, but I'm going to drop off with that, man. I'm going to end it like we ended at St. Croix African Society, Kelly Mali Bife. Uh, one family, one village, and one nation.